Remember the motto? With great power comes great responsibility. Hello, everyone. John and Carla here. We are the creative team behind the Green Reaper. And we are live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wildcat Comics, your new favorite YouTube channel. Remember, if you're not subscribed,
he jumped in on like volume 16 or something, and he was like, and he was loving it. That was what
we've been interviewed by Raging Golden Eagle.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to the chat. I'm so happy to see you guys here, to see this very active chat. We have Apollo Patriot. Welcome, Apollo.
Hail to Apollo.
Hail. And I love my blue Twi'lek. I don't know how to pronounce that. Women and Hail Greek Mythology.
Hail Greek Mythology.
Definitely. Hey, Bogdan Digital Art. Hail Whizgees.
Greetings to Whizgees, our hero backer, remember?
Yeah, and today we have a very, very special guest. With my hand in my heart, let me introduce you, Commie Mark.
Hello. Greetings, comrades. I always like to open these shows by thanking you, Annette, for letting me come and show my wares to your audience. Thanks for letting me come on. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely, my friend. Well,
anytime.
You know, we are Comicsgate all the way. We work campaign all the way as well. So we definitely like to have anybody who's putting out this content from Comicsgate. And okay. And so so this is this is what we do, and this is what we enjoy. This is what we're all about. So welcome to our channel.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a lot of people today, so thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Mark, you are very popular, so thank you for bringing these fine people here. We have Tatsunami. Hello, Tatsunami.
Yeah.
Hello.
And now, so let me tell you guys, all right? So everybody knows about communism, right? Everybody knows about the famine and the misery and the death, but not everybody knows about gay space communism. So tell us more about it, Mark.
So, gay space communism, it's an abbreviation and it of fully luxury automated gay space communism, which is when we have the technology where we no longer have to work in it. So robots will do all the manual labor for us. We'll be able to print beef burgers to eat, and we'll all be able to stay at home with our families and be just making fancy art and stuff that the robots can't do yet.
Absolutely. Do you think we're any close to that? Because I'd love to stop working.
Well, I think we may have inadvertently taken a step in that direction in these last few weeks. We're starting to see which jobs you actually need to leave the house to do. The fact that we're distinguishing now between jobs that are essential and actually you guys are just fannying around. We don't need you for society to carry on working. I'm finding that very interesting.
All right. Well, absolutely, my friend. Very interesting stuff. And you are bringing something very original to the Comicsgate scene, right? Something I haven't seen personally in Comicsgate. But
it's a photo novela, but actual photos.
But that's something that we definitely weren't expecting. We have, like you mentioned before, Red Gay is coming out with his prose book, and now we have a photo novella. The first one, I would say,
let me show this
in Comicsgate so far, and
it's the best-selling photo novella fumetti comic on Indiegogo ever. Not only in Comicsgate, ever, because it's the only one in it. So.
Absolutely. Well, this must have taken a whole lot of painstaking research, right? Especially for the photos and everything. How was your experience working on this?
Going through the photos is the longest part. I pretty much had 80% of the photos like before I even began. But having the images really helped because like it would set up jokes for me. Like I'd be like, oh, if I put this next to this, like I can play these opposites as a joke or whatever. But it was really fun to write, like and for me that's the most important thing. Like I think if I'm having fun, you'll have fun in it. Like if I'm slaving laboriously over it, that's how it's gonna feel when you're reading it. So it's really funny. Like
Absolutely. It looks very hilarious. It looks like you definitely did your homework with this. It's a
well,
picture.
that's one of the advantages is because it's alternate history. It doesn't really matter like how accurate it is in it. Like I can just go off in any direction and it seems
Yeah.
to flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that myself. I love when a lot of movie directors do that with history. They kind of take in one direction that kind of tells you what really happened, but then they take in a completely unexpected thing of *Inglourious Basterds* by Quentin Tarantino.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you were saying it. *Inglourious Basterds* is a great example of that, and nobody would say that's a political film either. Like you'd say it's like a war film, I guess. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so you are the single best selling. You have the single best selling fotonovela in all of comics ever. Now, so you are
Not in all of comics. All of comics on Indiegogo.
all comics in Indiegogo. Yeah. So all the comics in Indiegogo ever, and you have made quite a lot of money. So, are you, as a true communist, going to give this away?
Well, I have got my redistribute the wealth stretch goal, which we recently reached for passing over 1.5 million Korean won.
Absolutely.
And what I'm doing is every backer will get a profit share back in it, like of 200 Korean won, which like you can see I've got them here already, like waiting to go. And these are all from North Korea in it. They'll be signed and included in people's packages when they get them. So yeah, I am like redistributing like the money back to the.
Absolutely. Well, we'll touch bases after this, and I'll give you my PayPal. We will go from there. Now you have like this is something that's very typical of British people, right? It's that humor that I don't think any other country has. In my opinion, you guys have the funniest country. No offense meant by that, of course. I think you have the best comedians.
Not country, but sense of humor, right?
Right.
Like a countrywide.
So I could think of many examples. I'm personally a big fan of the silent ones. Like Charles Chaplin and Rowan Atkinson and stuff. But at the same time, you have that snark. Like thing. Sarah, what was his name? Sacha Baron Cohen. People like that. What are your main inspirations behind this persona of Commie Mark?
So Commie Mark is basically who I am, just dialed up to 11 in it. Like I just got a fancy hat, and people like follow you if you get a fancy hat. Like they'll believe anything that you say. But really, like artistically or whatever, my biggest inspiration is the writer Voltaire, who's like a French satirist from like the 1900s, like a French Revolutionary sort of times. Sick dude, biting satire. Like that's who I'm trying to replicate, if anything.
Absolutely, man. Very, very interesting. Is it? You guys have, like I said, you guys have the best comedy, in my opinion. So
Captain F Head is saying it's definitely a funny country. Hell, Captain. Hell,
Captain. Fuckhead.
How is the comics gate scene over there in the UK, anyways?
So me and Captain Fuckhead and the rest of us in CG UK, we all got together and was like, right, we've got like the most high profile UK people we can find. Like, let's all work together. Let's find some more. Like, and we're finding them. They're dribbling in slowly. Like, if you're watching this and you're British and you're Comicsgate, like, what are you doing? Like, message me, like, and I'll put you in the loop in it. Like, but yeah, we're growing. We've got books coming out. Like, Carl's got Mary Boys, like his real close to delivering that. We've got Rocket Gal, Elsa Dark. I know Willie's been on here at least one time. And of course, the Adventures of Kim Il Sung and Best Korea. Like, and we've got more stuff to come. Like, it's going to be great.
Oh, I definitely look forward to that. And that was actually my next question was.
Wait. Speaking of Elsa Dark, here we have William Hassel. Hell, William, and he's referring to Commie's Gate.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the hashtag that I stole from him. He said it one time, and I was like, I'm putting that on everything now. Like, so if you click on that hashtag on Twitter, it's all just like my propaganda art that like I've made to sell stuff. Like, so if you're ever looking for things to make thumbnails out of, click on there. That's a smart move.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was what I was going to ask you was why Kim Il Sung? Why him? What is so attractive about him that you wanted to tell his story?
So the Korean leaders, the Kim Il Sung dynasty up to Kim Jong Un that we've got now, there's a real mythos around them being magical in it. Like, and they tell their people that they are like Kim Jong, one of the Kims, the middle one. He famously like got 18 holes in one, like on his first go of playing golf. Kim Jong Un learned to drive at 3 years old, and it like the one who is the current leader. Like, and like they don't pee and they don't poo. Like, am I allowed to use obscene language like pee and poo on this show?
We say way worse things than that. We are not looking to be monetized anytime soon. Go for it.
Yeah, and it was just an easy comedy target, like because nobody is standing up to defend Kim Il Sung. Like, nobody's going to say to me, "You can't say that about Kim Il Sung." Like, it was an easy one, and I've talked about this idea that I'd like to have like a longer series of this, but that spotlights different leaders through time. Like, and this is a good place for the first deviation in the timeline. Like, so this goes wrong, and this. So then the Vietnam War goes differently, and you know, like it all culminates when the West Germans climb over the Berlin Wall and it like into the Soviet Union. Like, so,
alternate history. And how would Commie Mark envision the perfect version of history regarding Korea?
So, wow, that's such a hard question. Like, I don't have a good answer for that. Like, I would have probably give it to the Soviets. Like, if it was up to me, like I'd have just said have it. Like, because it turned into a battleground for like a proxy war, and it like, and it didn't benefit anyone in the long run. And then before that, it wasn't independent. Then it was owned by the Japanese. Like, and obviously, I wouldn't say give it back to the Japanese because the Japanese were awful to Korea, like, and China, like, and the massacre of Nanking and stuff like that. People don't talk about. Japan were real bad guys. I don't know if they deserved 2 atomic bombs to the face, but they were bad dudes.
Right.
Well, let me say hello to the chat. We have a lot of very beautiful people today. Please subscribe to YCAT Comics, don't forget, and also subscribe to Gay Space Communism.
And don't forget to back the Adventures of Kim Il Sung and Best Korea.
Definitely. So, Hell Stencil Artist Jan.
If you back it, we all win because it all comes back to us.
Exactly. Hell Charlie's London. So nice to see you here.
I do. There is another stretch goal that I haven't like put on here yet because I haven't made the page. Like, but what I'm gonna do is when it gets to $2,000 US, it's on $1,450 at the moment. This inside cover. So in my previous book, Not Daredevil, the inside cover was a letter from not Lev Gleason, who was like the fictional publisher of the book. Like, you know, and in it said like, "Dear reader, this book is unlike any book you've ever seen before. Like, prepare to be blown away," like some spiel in there describing what the book is, and then it was just signed the editor at the bottom. And then I saw a debate like about, should you sign comics on the front or should you sign them inside? And I thought, I'll smash those two problems together. Well, take that problem, smash it with my other page. So the inside cover is going to say "to," and then your name handwritten by me, and then like a message, and then signed at the bottom in it, so everyone will have their own personalized signed version of it, if that makes sense.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Have you ever gone to Korea, or would you like to go?
I would have liked to go to North Korea, but if I go there now, I will be killed. They'll auto-1BA me in it. I'll be a dead man.
Right.
As soon as I went in there.
Have you seen the interview? The movie, The Interview?
Yeah, I watched that film when it came out. It's quite good. It's not as good as Team America though. But on the interview, I really like James Franco. I think he's really funny. And I really like that film. It does a good job of portraying the way that Korea tries to present itself to the world, as a utopia when it's not, which is part of what we're exploring in the book as well.
Now, I get the whole space communism part, but tell me, is the future gay?
I think it's certainly going to be more androgynous than it is currently, and and we can see already there's a blurring of lines. Who knows where that's going?
Yeah. It's very interesting times we live in. There was actually a Chinese proverb that said, it was kind of a curse, that people would, an insult that people would throw at each other that said, "I wish you live in interesting times." And that was kind of like the way to insult another person was, "I wish you live in interesting times." And we do live in interesting times. There is no question about that.
Definitely.
There is no question about that. But we are very happy about your success. Because I definitely love when these new original ideas are start to get showcased in Comicsgate and in Mexico.
And this is not this. So this is a new idea, but this isn't what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep giving you a new idea every time, and and you'll say, how did he come up with this? This is so different from that last thing and the next thing. I'm always trying to find a way to smash things, not in a let's destroy it way, but how can we put it back together in a Frankenstein way that you go, well, that's
Now tell me, do you ever go out in public like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, all the time actually. This hat is the warmest hat that I've ever had in my entire life. It blows my mind. It's obvious, in the snow and that in the USSR though. Yeah.
And do you get a lot of shit for that, or is that something that people got used to seeing, or what?
So people don't really wear them. It's not a trend. And people do look at me strange, but no stranger than they do when I'm dressed in any of my other normal clothes. Because I dress quite exuberantly anyway. And when I see people looking at me, it makes me feel good. So yeah, I love it.
So we have actually that, which was going to be my next question. We have a question from Tatsunami, and he or she, is it a he or she? Is he? He asked, who drew that? Who drew the cover for this?
So the cover is by Captain Fuckhead. It's a Captain Fuckhead original. So we discovered each other when I made the Not Daredevil comic, which used original public domain artwork, and retooled it or whatever. And then he made a joke cover of a Captain Marvel Jr. comic or something, like in a communist fashion, like, and it was funny, like, and I liked it. And then we started talking. And this cover's inspired by that in it. So this is an original Captain Marvel cover that's in the public domain, where he's stripped out the background and put in some nice new clouds, and then drawn Kim Il-sung over the top of where Captain Marvel originally was.
Okay, well, shout out to Captain Fuckett, because this came out wonderful.
Okay, I'm very interested in this perk in particular. Burn a book.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me?
And which book would you burn?
So I noticed a trend on Twitter that people were burning each other's books in it. Like
History repeats itself, right?
I thought that it was pretty funny that people were taking their own possessions that they'd owned, that they'd paid to have delivered to their house, just to burn on a fire in it. So I thought I would cut out the middleman and save them money on shipping by burning it myself. And I'm going to do that live, like on a live stream, to generate more content, and it's all watch hours at the end of the day.
Would you consider burning someone else's book if it was requested?
If I don't know how I feel about that idea. Like, it's a joke to burn my own book, but is it mean? Like, I don't. It depends how many there is, I suppose. Like, I'm not going to burn the last copy of something. Like, that would be outrageous. But I tell you what, I'd burn a copy of X-Men 1, you know, from the 90s, the one that everybody has. Yeah. Like, because it wouldn't make any difference. Like, because there's so many of them.
Absolutely.
Look, Abel Salazar is saying it's absolutely outstanding what Commie is doing.
Yeah. Hail to Abel. And I actually saw a pretty interesting question here from the chat from Charlie's London. Since we were talking about the whole androgynous style that's trending nowadays, and she's asking about Marquette. So what does the female version of you look like?
Oh, so we did a CG UK stream where we did a murder mystery episode, like, and we was all playing the game of who done the murder or whatever. And Jan, who was hosting that episode, Stencilatis Jan, who's in the chat, Charlie's wife, he was like, he'd given us all characters to play in it, and I'd been given a character, and I decided that I was going to play it as a woman, which is this Marquette character, like which there is a picture of. Like, there's a whole video like that exists. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture for you now so you can see.
Absolutely.
You may want to carry on talking though.
Yeah. We can. You know what we can do in the meantime? Something I've been wanting to do since we started this is last time I checked on the Adventures of Kim Il-sung, there was no trailer, but now there's one. And I am very excited to see it.
Oh yeah, wait, we're watching without audio.
Okay, we have to
make sure that you have the subtitles on if you're gonna play the trailer, which you.
Oh, we can do subtitles as well.
Yeah, that's it, because it makes it easier to understand.
Yeah, let's share the audio so we can have the whole experience.
Here you go. All right.
Movie time.
Greetings, comrades, and welcome to Best Career TV News. Today is yet another awesome day here in the Best Career as the infamous Western comic book writer who calls himself the Gay Space Genius announces new book, The Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Career.
The book is controversial in the West as using the unadopted photographs. It details the true historical outcome of the Korean War, our total dominant victory over the imperialist American dogs. Writer Commie Mark, the creator of Not Daredevil, seen here on YouTube, show gay space communism. has come under fire from the bourgeoisie capitalists for daring to speak the truth about how awesome everything is here in Best Korea with this tell-all 30-plus page comic. And how the eternal leader and all-round nice guy Kim Il-sung is actually magic, and the rightful ruler of all of Korea. To celebrate such a momentous occasion in the history of Best Korea, almighty leader Kim Il-sung has moved the heavens and the earth to declare the month of February will be extended by 1 day.
To celebrate the genius and bravery demonstrated in honoring my grandfather and the mighty Kim dynasty, we the people of Best Korea herefore and henceforth recognize February the 29th as Commie Mark Day.
I second that.
Parties are expected throughout the streets of Pyongyang as the Indiegogo campaign launches at midnight February 29th. The comic will be available in 2 formats in both standard US and the more traditional Korean manga style for the low price of just 10,800 North Korean won, $12 US. Check out the Indiegogo campaign for more details.
위대한 김정은 동지를 영도의 중심, 단결의 중심으로 높이 받들어 모시다.
위대한 김일성 조국 김정일 장군님의 나라를 김정은 동지 따라 한방에 빛내자.
This is absolutely genius. Absolutely genius.
Just look at the comments, okay?
Yeah, everybody's going
Oh my god, I love this. Haha, incredibly imaginative.
Absolutely.
Everybody's cracking up. It's so clever.
It is. And let me ask you, do you ever fear that maybe the North Koreans will maybe try to hack you, try to attack you online, or you don't fear that because they don't have internet access?
It is something that is constantly sitting in the back of my mind, and like every time that my internet goes down, I think, shit, this is it, like this is the one, like, and it's never is, like, just reconnect, like, and everything's fine, like, but yeah, like the other day I was doing a stream here and I was chatting and my girlfriend just appeared like right here, and it scared the shit out of me, and it, like, because I was talking about North Korea, like going, it was when I was doing the live tour of North Korea. I did an episode of my show Russian Troll Factory where we went to North Korea on Google Maps and was looking at all these places that you can go to for tourists. And then we was going on TripAdvisor and leaving fake reviews for the places. So like we'd go there, look around, and it was pretty funny. Yeah, so, and then she appeared and it shit me up very badly. So I can see you've given me the screen share, so I'll show you a picture of Marquette now. Here she is, isn't she, like a beautiful lady, like
yeah, she's looking at me. Yeah. Looking great.
Yeah. So, like, I have thought about before, because I've got, like, this outfit that I wear all the time. And then on Gay Space Communism, like, I'm the Gay Space Jesus, so I've got that Jesus outfit. And then there's Market. And I need, like, a 4th one, so I can do, like, a 1-person stream, like, as 4 characters, like, but some of it's in the future. I haven't worked it out yet.
We have a trans Jesus, maybe. Maybe a mix of Marquette and Jesus.
Trans Jesus, that's excellent. Those.
By the God.
By the gods. All right. Yeah, well, I absolutely love the concept. I definitely do. And I think you should as well. If you're watching this, definitely back Commie Mark's Best Korea, The Adventures of Kim Il-sung.
Yeah, there's definitely some Gina vibes there.
Yeah. Both very beautiful ladies, and it, like, it's undeniably true.
Now, here there was something else that that I always meant to ask you, like from a long time that we've ever chatted and things like that. And this is about not Deadpool. Now, how did you come up with that stroke of genius?
Oh, so it's not Daredevil in it, not
Daredevil. Yeah.
So I had actually finished the first draft of The Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Korea before I made Not Daredevil. Yeah. And it was when I was putting this book together that I thought, well, firstly, I thought I can do this. Like, this is way easier than I thought that it was going to be. Like, And then secondly, I thought it would be way easier if I took an existing story and changed the speech bubbles, like rather than trying to stitch together a whole new alternate history of the world, like using a limited supply of images. But then not Daredevil just created its own different challenges. But so like I was looking through loads of public domain comics, like looking for the one to use. And then I got to this Daredevil 15 and I opened it and he was sat there on a kangaroo, like doing a lasso. And I thought, oh, like, and I was reading it in Australian. And then it gets to the tribes people, and I was like, this is exactly the level of racism in the book, because I've been experiencing that for weeks in it, because I've been but this was like the best crystallization of it that I'd seen in it. I was like, this is the one that I'm using, because it had both interesting character and a good example of the sort of thing that I was trying to poke fun at in the book.
Yeah, so I've been wondering about that whole public domain thing. Is it really doable? Can you just grab any character that's listed on there and use it, or are there any copyright?
So, like, I did a lot of looking into it before I made Not Daredevil, and Daredevil is a great example of that, because he has been rebooted like a number of times. So in Eric Larsen's Savage Dragon run, he brings the original Daredevil back from the Golden Age. He has like a whole event where a bunch of Golden Age heroes like come into his universe, including the Silver Streakers, another character in my Not universe. And so he did it. There's a comic book Femforce. They added some cameo with Daredevil in as well. And then Dynamite Comics have their own Golden Age universe reboot, where they have the Death-defying Devil and the Black Terror, like, and a bunch of other public domain characters. But they played it straight in it, and mine's a comedy, like a subversion of the original. Like, those guys are all trying to get away from like the bad stuff that was in those original comics, but I'm like embracing it, being like, look at this is
right. And there are so many characters that are just so old, that I feel like, there will be absolutely no problem with doing a story about them, right?
Well, if you look at the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by Alan Moore, that's entirely made out of public domain characters in it. Like, so that was one of the inspirations behind it. I always say, like, I thought of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when I was about 15. Right. And then discovered that Alan Moore had beaten me to it by like 10 or 15 years or something ridiculous in it. And there's loads of times that happens to me where I think, I've come up with like the best thing, I'm going to change the world. And then I go and look and it already exists.
Me too. It happens all the time. You know what happens to me with both ideas for books and inventions? For some reason, one day I came up with this genius idea, because I used to wear glasses and they always get foggy or wet when you went outside and it was raining. So you know what I said? I said, you know what? They should just put umbrellas on top of them. I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely going to patent this. Then come to find they already exist. And it was heartbreak.
Yeah, it's outrageous, isn't it, when you let that happen?
Speaking of, I don't know if public domain characters, but speaking of legendary characters, I'm going to take a brief moment for a little bit of shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, but we have to share first. Maybe.
We have to share the screen first. Just really briefly, for everybody who has not heard about, we have on the Grim Reaper 2 now we have some sketch cards by Sim, and we only have one left available.
Yeah, so
back it while you can, back it when they're still available. They are the beautiful sketch cards made by Sim himself, by the man himself. The book's still available. 3 books for only $30, over 100 pages.
Yeah, I think it's also very pertinent to the conversation that the spin-off is actually placed in Bolshevik Russia, in the Bolshevik Revolution, right?
Yes, it happens during actually. It happens to the Romanov family. It happens to the Tsars. The spin-off involves the Green Reaper, the Romanov family, Rasputin, and also the first, I guess you can say, the first communist ever. Would that be accurate, Mr. Jesus?
Well, certainly the first beginnings of the USSR happens in that moment and in the Russian Revolution when Lenin rocks up. I love the idea of crossing the Grim Reaper with Rasputin. That was a geniusly inspired idea, because he's the perfect person to have as a antagonist against the Grim Reaper. So clever. I'm genuinely impressed. Little round of applause.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Also, thank you very much to Red Gaze for dropping the links there. Thank you very much, my friend. Also, we're gonna check Sandstorm at the end of the show, so don't miss it. And I wanted to say this is more from the artistic point of view. We did something similar to Mark here because we use Russian-like letters to emulate the Russian letters, and he did the same with Korea, and I love seeing that. Some people have trouble understanding this. This is actually called the curse of the medallion, but definitely wanted to give the
remember the time when a Russian actually retweeted this and said, I don't know what this means, right? But
there was a Russian CGer, comicsgater, that retweeted that with the actual pronunciation in Russian. And that was very hilarious. Look, here we have the exact same time. This page, I'm almost finishing today.
Alexander walking to his certain death before with his family, and Anastasia about to get shot as well. The Grim Reaper watching this whole thing as it unfolds. So definitely a lot of Russian stuff on this spin-off as well. So if you enjoy Russian lore and the Grim Reaper, then definitely want to back this one too.
Yeah, of course. Also check the Sandstorm. We're gonna see it just in a few minutes. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. And also don't forget that the women are hot. That's always true.
There are no women in the Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Korea.
Okay.
It doesn't even have no main character in it, there's background characters or whatever.
Then would we get maybe a pinup of the Kim Il-sung?
I have somebody working on a picture of Kim Il-sung as a sexy Sailor Moon.
You're a genius. You're a genius. Yeah. Cheers, my friend.
I'm trying to put a lot of thought into everything in it. It always has to have some meta layer on top of it or under it.
Hail to the Vinny himself.
Hail Vinny.
We have a king and we have Jesus. We have everything you need in one. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, everyone. Oh, geez. What did I miss?
An amazing show. Guys, Beanie, of course you all know, but I'm saying it anyways. Beanie was streaming with Fragaboom. So if you missed that show, please check the replay. It's a really cool show, and also help my bro Beanie to reach the 30K in Through the Woods. He's almost there. It's so exciting.
Thank you. I love family. You guys are the best.
Really, thank you for coming, Beanie. You're always welcome here.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, no, I was also talking to Commie Mark.
All right. Absolutely. So we have some questions from the audience here. Commie Mark, where is the dude's neck? Talking about me?
You are the dude.
I don't know. Maybe he's talking about someone.
No, I think he's talking about Kim Il-sung.
Oh, okay. Where is his neck, Mark?
It doesn't need a neck because he's so amazing. Just straight head to body.
Right. He doesn't need a right? Now, for Mark, does the drapes match the carpet?
Yeah, I've got a downstairs beard to match in it.
Are you a redhead?
No. Look.
Okay. Then you're good.
Just downstairs.
All right.
Yeah, thank you to the chat. You're so active. I love you guys. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Somebody says that Sim is not mortal. He's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
He's not. You know who else is not mortal? Vinny Tartamella. He never sleeps. He works at work.
Yeah.
This person in the chat, Whiskers, has asked if there's a chromium cover, and that's a great idea. I might do a tin foil cover, like where I'll just wrap the book in tin foil, like and staple it.
Would that be able to protect us from the government and stuff? Or?
I can put. I'll line the hats with the Kim Il Sung hats with tin foil as well in it to protect you from government radio propaganda or whatever.
Of course. Holy shit.
Absolutely. All right. So I think it's time. Is that time for us to start asking our guests the uncomfortable questions?
Well, let's bring the glasses.
We start easy and then we get a little crazier with the questions, and that is to get to know you better and for the fans to get to know you better. But I know that you have no problem answering pretty much anything, right?
I always try my best.
Like that. So let's start easy. Who's your favorite communist hero ever?
Fidel Castro, probably. Like, I think he's my favorite. Like, if I had to pick one, or I do like Trotsky as well. Like, Trotsky's a cool dude.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
but I love the idea of the Cuban Revolution. Like, it's one of my favorite revolution.
To choose your favorite communist figures, like what are you based on? Like what are the principal features it has to meet, like the standards it has to meet to be one of your favorite figures?
So, like with Trotsky's like real idealistic about like the communism, like rather than so Stalin was like super authoritarian in it, like Trotsky was a bit more laissez-faire, like with the communism, if that makes any sense. But what I love about Fidel Castro is that he fought America, like from right on America's doorstep, like and they still haven't beat him. Like it was one thing when Ho Chi Minh defeated the Americans, like on the other side of the world, like, but to do it on their doorstep, like they could have just parked the Navy like all around, like, and he still won, like hero. And he's got a cool look as well with his hat and his cigar. And there's some, so when you see pictures of the Soviet Union and everyone looks miserable, like, and it's snowing, like, and they've got all that gray architecture, and then you compare that to communist Cuba, where it's the Caribbean, it's sunny, like everyone's dancing to like samba sort of music, like all the houses are painted pink and blue and green, like it looks like a much happier place to be than a lot of places.
And don't forget, he took America's pastime as well, baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
I was talking about this with someone the other day about Guantanamo Bay's in Cuba, innit? Like, and it existed there before the Cuban Revolution, and the American government still sends rent checks to the Castros because it's their land, like, and they've got a lease arrangement. But Cuba, like, throw the checks in the bin because, like, they don't respect America. They get something like $4,000 a month. So I mean, it's probably not a great tragedy for them to throw that money away. Like, but I like the principles of it.
All right, next question. What is the most shameful thing you've ever done for money?
Done for money? Probably this. No.
Wait a minute, we're supposed to be getting paid? Where's my check?
I don't know. I've done dumb stuff for money. Like I've ate dog biscuits for money. Like I snorted pepper once. Like which was really dumb. Like loads of like everyone's got a price, haven't they? Like depends. But I don't really carry shame for things that I've done in it. Like I just move forward with it. Like learn lessons and carry on. forwards.
I like that. No shame.
Mark, do you know which country stopped being communist in 1989?
Which country?
No, go on.
Time for
No, man, like it's all.
Yeah, so
we also have Charlie's London, who she says this is her jam. So this is
Oh,
your
I see
time
what
to
she
shine.
did there. I see what she did there. Isn't she Jam's wife?
Huh?
No? Oh, never mind.
Saying like that we're playing a tune, like
Right.
because she's a history expert, like a history teacher, like so that's some kind of expert. We have like we're both history buffs and it like we like it.
So let's ask him this question from the chat. By the way, you guys can participate in the questions as well. How Professor Moriarty, I guess is how you pronounce, lost the best of British villains when he was the only British villain in the CG UK show.
Yes, so yesterday, Wednesday, we did the best of British villains on the CG UK show. Like people were coming with suggestions and was ranking them and stuff. He chose Professor Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes, and it just wasn't the best one. There was better suggestions than that. Like I chose Hans Gruber from Die Hard. Like it's obviously German in the film, but Alan Rickman's British, so that counted. And we had like Zod from Superman 2.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Loads of cool ones. Like Moriarty just wasn't good enough. He didn't survive the test.
Here we have the answer. It was Poland. It was born during Commie times.
Oh yeah, you remember that? We should know that. We have lots of Polish friends.
Yeah, I already told my friend Duchito that I love kielbasa, pierogis, and because he's Polish.
Oh yeah. We even know how to say a few things in Polish, like "Ty jesteś głupia." It means you're an idiot. But for women, right? Because guppy. I'm teaching you guys some stuff over here, right?
When I was a kid in school, we learned a Polish song. I do not remember it now, but as a little kid, I'm talking small, like maybe 6 or 7, and I remember singing it to to my neighbor. His mother was like 90 or something, and boy, we really put a smile on her face. So I'm all for the Polish people.
Yeah. Poland is an excellent country, and their language is a real hard one for me to understand, like because it's a Russian-based language.
Yeah.
Whereas we have Latin-based languages in it. So, like, I believe that I can read Spanish, and I can read Italian because I have enough English. Like, I'm fluent in English. I know like bits of French and bits of Latin, and then I feel like I can stitch it together reading. Like our languages all overlap really nicely. Like
Yeah,
there's definitely
Polish one's real hard. So even Romanian is like a Latin-based language, and it's only like one country over from Poland.
Right.
That's way.
Yeah, Europe definitely has. I think in my opinion, Europe is probably the most diverse continent. Linguistically and culturally speaking, if you think about the rest of the world, although Asia is pretty intense in that way as well. So next question: if you could do something to your high school bully, what would it be?
To my high school bully, if I could go back, this is things that I've learned as a grown up. So I would have this power move that I'm waiting to do in the next person who tries to fight me, where I'm just going to poke them in the eye, like because I don't care if you're Bruce Lee, if I poke you in the eye, you're gonna go like that for a second, and that's all I need to win, and it's about like creating a moment. So I'm just gonna poke a person in the eye. I have this lovely image in my head of the Tiananmen Square photos, like where the tanks are rolling in and that dude's there with his shopping bags or whatever, so imagine a version of that, but it's me and I'm poking like a jihadi in the eye with a he's got a machine gun and that, and it's just like this symbol of defiance, like poking him in the eye. It's a thing that I want to do.
Oh my god, I'm taking you to a fight next time, my friend. You are lethal. I've been thinking about freedom. That's good. We should all think about that, especially now that are you guys in the UK in lockdown as well, or whatever?
Yeah, all the non-essentials are closed, and it's just like your healthcare
And what does that
retail
even
sort of.
mean anymore, right? What are non-essentials? Because I think that's very subjective nowadays. I don't think that I can live without the internet anymore.
No,
I think
certainly
it's like
not.
superficial stuff. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it
Yours-
means in theory, but like if you think about it, essential should just be food, shelter, and water. But in reality, we need more than that nowadays.
The post as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But that, like, there's not very, like, we could survive with way less than what we have. This is a thing that I've been pushing for ages. Yeah. So you know how we say that competition increases like the quality of the service. Like if there's 4 different supermarkets in your town, like they've all got to compete with each other to be better. Yeah. But if there was just one supermarket, it would require 1/4 of the workers in it that we need to run 4 supermarkets at the same time. So we could all be working way less than we are if we weren't like racing against each other. Like if the 2 burger companies on the same street just joined into one burger company, they could each do half of the work. Like it doesn't make sense to me, like why we do it this way that we do. Like we should just work together as a team, like everything will be better. That's all communism really is. Let's be a team. Like
Yeah, I guess you can say it like that. Whiskey says non-essential equals clothes. Not if you're naked though. If you're naked, I feel like that is more essential.
Wait, is this leading? Is this leading into the T-shirt with the holes in it?
I wish that I had a T-shirt to plug like in this moment, and it where I could say, yeah, but this Kim Il Sung T-shirt is like definitely essential with a link and stuff. Too slow.
All right, we have a question here from Apollo. What do you think about the new warriors, as we call them here?
What I imagine, is that those characters have been created to cause this uproar, and then they're just going to be sacrificed, like they're going to be killed in it by some like rightist villain or whatever, like some neo-Nazi character is going to kill them, like so they'll be martyred for the cause, like and they won't have to carry on writing them. That's certainly what I would do. Like if I'd created those characters, I'd be saying, oh, I'm going to kill them, like, and that's going to start like the next mega crossover event or whatever, where some superheroes are outed as Republicans, like, and it's not outside of the realms of possibility for what Marvel could do, is it?
But it isn't, like, that's never coming out because of the situation now. But for starters, and for 2, I don't think they would have gotten the orders to actually produce this book. I think it was all bullshit just for clickbait. They just wanted traffic out there on their websites. They wanted media coverage. That's all that was. Everyone knows it's bullshit.
Yep, absolutely. Then we have Captain Fucky who says there is no clothes in Scotland. Is that true?
That is true. They're all naked up there. It's
Right.
why
the
clothes situation is so bad in Scotland. The men have to wear skirts.
Have you ever been to Scotland?
I haven't been to Scotland. I think the most north that I've been in my city, in my country, is probably to Leeds or something. You don't even know. It's like maybe a.
Hey, don't underestimate. I was not schooled in America, right? I know I know the planet.
Yeah. So I haven't been that far north. Like I've been to every other country that we have inside my country, but not Scotland. That's the only one.
Yeah.
I'll go there when I meet Captain Fuckhead for real the first time.
What are your thoughts on the royal family?
On the royal family, we obviously don't need one. Like it's a cast over from the medieval times. Like, but at the same time, I don't care. Like, I'm not angry enough at them to be demanding that we Tsar Nicholas them or whatever. But like if they said in the paper like tomorrow, that's it, we're done, I'd be like, fine, whatever. And if it carried on, whatever. I don't
Yeah, well, I
care.
mean, the thing is here, yeah, I don't know if you've ever been here to America, but here people go nuts over that shit, all right? They love the Windsors. They can't get enough of it. They want to watch the royal wedding and the royal baby and the royal, and the dresses and all that stuff.
I think it's because they don't have that in America, innit? Like here, we get that every day. Like it's on our coins and the money and the stamps. Like, and you know, we can go and see it anytime. Like in America, you don't have the pomp and celebration in the same way.
But see,
Like in sporting events or whatever, sure. Like, but it's kind of different, I think.
See, I was curious about that stuff too because everyone that I've known or seen whatever never really gave a shit about it. I think it's just the media that does that. Because I think regular people don't really give a fuck about the royal family.
I think that is largely true. I know that like the royal weddings are like every time that there's one, it's like the most viewed thing, like until the next most viewed thing comes out. And I think that probably a lot of networks look at that and think, oh, look, everyone likes that every time it happens, and then pander to the trend rather than creating trends.
So it seems like.
All right, now on with the question, especially on the line of the communism. Have you ever donated to charity?
I buy so many things from charity shops. Like I exchange my money for people's trash, like all the time. Like half of my book collection is from there, and people give away books because they don't read them anymore.
Absolutely.
So here is a thing that I've thought about a long time that I haven't said on anything. So you know how we all have given money towards cancer charity, like whether it's through charity shops or someone with a bucket or whatever, like and that's good. Like let's say that they come up with a cure for cancer, that shit's not going to be free, is it? Like, even though we paid for it all, like some pharmaceutical company is going to own the rights to the cancer cure and then charge us again for it, like when we need it. It's outrageous.
I've always said that the smartest man alive is the owner of something that here in America is called Goodwill. So it's a store of donated stuff, and you go and buy it. So people go in, they willingly donate clothing, furniture, stuff, and this motherfucker resells it, all right, for profit.
Yeah, that's the same thing that I'm talking about. And like, I love those shops, like because every single thing in there is different. Like, you know, a normal shop you go to and it's the same T-shirt like 6 times in a row, and then the same T-shirt 6 times in a row. But you get like a real variety, like in those shops, and I love that. Like everything's different.
So we have a little bit of something going on here. Charlie's London. If you want to come on the show, we're more than happy to have you on. Do we have her on Twitter?
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah, we can send her the link for sure. Send her the link.
She's good people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's have her on, and then let's go on with the question.
Well, if she wants to, of course.
Yeah. We're not forcing you here, all right? Yeah. I know this is the communism live stream, but you are not forcing me.
But if you want to.
Now, so you are the gay space Jesus, right? Communism, Jesus. But communism is about atheism. So, are you the second coming of Jesus?
So that's the big joke in the gay space Jesus, and it that like doesn't make sense. Like there's a communist version of Jesus, although Jesus was quite communist. Like if you look at some things that he said, like said something. I'm paraphrasing Jesus here. Obviously, he says if you've got 2 T-shirts, give one to someone who hasn't got a T-shirt. Like obviously Jesus didn't wear T-shirts, but you know what I'm saying. Like it's in there. There's stuff like that.
All right, so 2 against. No. Forget what I was going to say. But now we are 2 ladies. Welcome, Charlie. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi. How you doing?
Sounded extra British then when you appeared. Like I speak to Charlie like every day or whatever. But against this, it's like you know when we used to. you know, on the show Friends, there was that character played by Helen Blacksondale, whatever her name is, some British character, like, and you would never notice that everyone had American accents until she appeared, and then you'd be like, oh shit, like shit, that's what this was like then. It sounded extra British. That's well done, Pip. That's a funny joke.
Absolutely. All right. So one more question for Mark, and then we'll move on to promote more books and talk to Charlie as well. What is the most hardcore drug you've ever done?
What is the most hardcore drug that I've ever done?
Yes.
My favorite is
just say meth, please.
I used to take a lot of LSD when I was a teenager, and like unbelievable amounts of LSD. Like, and I often wonder whether that made me this interesting, or if I was already this interesting. Like, and I'll never be able to know, like, for definite whether that's the case. I tell this story sometimes about how one time, so we had like this cup that had like zodiac symbols inside of it, like in a circle, and we were saying that it was the cup of destiny, and we was doing this fake ceremony thing because we were all goths in it, where we're like going, the cup of destiny, and it's got this water in with like stuff in, and we're drinking from it, and we have a night and everything's wonderful. It's excellent. LSD is don't do drugs, kids. So we're doing that, and like the next day comes along, I go to sleep, I wake up the next day, and all of my friends are still tripping, but we've gone away like to a place that's in the countryside to do this, and we've got to go home, like, because we've got school on Monday, and it like the next day, like, we've got to go home. So I have to take all of these people who are tripping their balls off on a train, like back to the city where I live, so we can go to school. And so I'm there, and I start having this like thought: how do I know that I'm really on this train with all these people going back to where we live, and that I'm not still sat on the top bunk of the bunk beds going like, choo choo motherfuckers, I'm on a train, like and so I was thinking, like, I can't go up to a stranger.
Oh my gosh. But that's a great point.
Yeah, so I can't ask a stranger, I can't say to them, am I on a train? Because if I'm creating the whole thing inside my mind, they're going to say, of course you are on a train. Like, and like still to this day, I don't know for definite that I'm not in a coma, like in a hospital somewhere, and it like.
Oh man, great answers. I don't expect any less. So Charlie, how do you know these people? Huh?
Because we're all doing the same LSD trip right now.
Yeah, it's that Carla and John are actually at their computer going, choo choo, we're streaming, motherfuckers.
How do I know them? Well, myself, my other half, Jan, have been around. So he's been around CG a lot longer than I have. He's been around CG probably about 2 odd years, nearly 3 years, I think. And then I was moaning at him one day about how I was so disgusted with the comics that I was seeing in my local comic shop. And he literally went, have a look at this, and passed me over the iPad. And I was sort of hooked on what was going on with CG. And I found out that so many of my favourite artists were obviously CG. And so I just got on Twitter, and I was really constant, and I was tweeting everybody, and I was talking to people, and I was really positive and passionate about the community. And then all of a sudden one day I'm at work, and I get this ping up of a DM going, Captain Fuckhead has added you into a group. And then it was CG UK, and it was born from that. And we've ended up like this ragtag group from across the pond that we don't really do anything like anybody else. Like, I've worked that out. I've been looking at like lots of different streams and lots of different groups. We're so eclectic in what we do. It works. It kind of goes back to Mark's analogy about Friends, how they're all so different, but it all worked. It's exactly the the same thing. Everybody's got a different personality, but everybody seems to gel really, really well. So that's kind of where we all are now. That's how I know that commie on there.
No.
I think it's so damn ironic that everyone keeps calling us a hate group, and we have the most love out of anything and anyone out of all these groups everywhere.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I was gonna say just that. What do you say in the imaginative like scenario that an SJW or a person like this stumbles upon this video one day? What would you say to those people who think that Comicsgate is a hate group?
One of my favorite things to do on Twitter is when people say Comicsgate is like a Nazi group, is to just appear underneath and be like, yeah, Commie Mark, what a Nazi bastard. Like, because it's just and everyone was real welcoming to me. Like, everyone. So I appeared on this war campaign stream. This is the moment that I burst into the Comicsgate consciousness in it. And they were like, are we allowed communists in Comicsgate? And then everyone was just like, yeah. Like, and then they let me like do my bit, and then people were like, oh, okay, like this guy's funny, like, or whatever. And here I am, like, nobody's throwing any hate at me, like, not really on either side. Like, I might be able to straddle the line.
I think you confuse the other side.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I thought I would be a shoo-in for the mainstream in it. Like, I'm a leftist, liberal, communist, like, androgynous. I've got a hipster beard and shit. Like, why aren't they letting me in? Like, I'm writing political stuff. Like, I'm preaching about what I like in the books, not like what the audience wants. Like, I'm supposed to be on their team. Like, and they was like, no, we don't want you. Like, and then Comicsgate was just like, well, come on, we'll take you. Like, and they took me in their bosoms. Like, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
All right. Just to get a little bit more out of our friend and our guest Charlie.
Wait a second. Charlie had a
show us that.
I'm very sorry, but Charlie actually had an opinion about something you guys were talking about.
No.
Oh, the royal family, right? So, before I was a history teacher, I used to work. Very technically, I used to work for the royal family because I used to look after the crown jewels. At the Tower of London.
Sorry.
No. So I was part of the like what they call the conservation team at the Tower of London, which helped to look after the crown jewels, and I can tell you that they generate a lot of money for our country. Like, people have got this thing like, yeah, just you can get rid of them, it doesn't matter. But you know what? Over here, it's caused a bit of a storm, to be fair, that Meghan and Harry have just like disappeared, because the royal family have always been seen as being this like iconic image that, you know, even through the war, the Queen's father and Churchill would walk the streets of bombed London, and it was very morale lifting. Everyone are asking, where's Harry and Meghan? You know, William and Kate are doing their thing. Poor Prince Charles got coronavirus and he still managed to send out messages to the nation via his YouTube channel. And it's like, where are these two? And I think it's people are going to stop and think about that. And
I think that there is an equal amount of people in our country who look at the situation that Prince Harry was in and are like, well, he knows that he's never going to get to be the king, like, and he's always going to have the royal pressure, like, of the paparazzi and trying to be a good person and shit. Like, and if I was in his situation, I'd certainly say, well, fuck that. Like, I ain't going to be the king. Like, I'll go and be a legend in Canada instead with my Hollywood wife.
Yeah, wasn't he the one that had like all the big scandals too with the drugs and all this other shit?
So there was a picture of him at a fancy dress party dressed as a Nazi. There was a picture of him naked in a Las Vegas hotel room. Like, loads of stuff.
So what you're telling me is he's CG.
I think he is actually. Yeah, I think you might have nailed that.
They do.
You know, it's funny.
Oh, sorry, Vinny, carry on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a small connection with them as well, because back when I was doing those covers for that one company, I was doing all those politicals and some celebrity stuff. I had done a portrait of their mother, of Princess Diana, and it got over there. I don't know where it circulated, but like somebody paid for it as well to be put in a publication somewhere, and they said both of her sons actually saw it and really loved it. I think they said it was Harry who they said he cried about it, that he said it was really, really special. So like that word got back to me from the publisher on that. But I thought that was good.
You know, I'd like to take this opportunity, talking about Prince Harry crying, to make a confession. I was watching the film Cars 3 with my son the other day, who's a toddler, and that film made me cry, like at 33 years old or whatever. Like Cars 3 is really good. It's like a masterclass of writing. Like I highly recommend it to people.
There's no shame in crying, my friend. There's no shame.
Even commies cry. That's good.
Yeah.
You should
more.
Yeah, you should name the stream that. Even commies cry.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that we're talking on the subject of the royal family, are they lizards from outer space?
No.
You don't think?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm quite a royalist, to be honest. I mean, I say I'm a royalist. I'm much more like the immediate royal family. Like, there's so many hangers-on that just get rid of them. They're draining money. They're not even interesting. But like the Queen is the Queen's amazing. I mean, if you look at if you research the Queen and all the things that she's ever done in her life, one strong ass woman. I mean, seriously, like she's a great role model if you actually look at her background.
I tell you who draws strong asses. Vinny Tartamella.
No, brother. But she is a legend. She fucking really is.
So the question, are they lizard people? No. But are they inbred as fuck? Yes. Like the entire of the European royal families are basically cousins with each other now, innit? Because in the old days, you'd be like, if I marry the Duke of Normandy or whatever, our lineage may inherit his land in 2 generations, or we can sign a peace treaty if I marry the Princess of Albania or whatever, in it. So it's all interbred, and I think that's why they're all so ugly.
Well, even back to Egypt. I mean, there was the same thing over there. All the Egyptians were doing the same thing.
Yeah. Like we literally have. Oh fuck! What's it called? Oedipus, in it. Like the Oedipus syndrome, when people get hard-ons for their own moms, named after how notoriously bad at incest the Egyptians were, or good at it, however you decide to look at it.
But sorry.
Well, so they're not lizards, but is there any word? Because like right here, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, right? Especially surrounding Prince Andrew, because he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. So do you guys talk about that at all over there? Or
Wow, Charlie, we're going to get to do it on this stream. So in the UK, we have a notorious paedophile called Jimmy Savile, from the 1970s. And he was also in that elite group of shadowy folks, in it. I would be unsurprised if we didn't cross paths with Epstein, but he was pally with the royal family, and there's pictures of him with Margaret Thatcher, the most evil leader we've ever had, etc. So yeah, there's definitely some shit going on. Prince Andrew is dodgy as hell, and so people say that the Clintons killed Jeffrey Epstein. And those people are underestimating the shadiness of the British royal family. There's obviously theories that they whacked Diana and stuff. How true that is.
And not to get conspiratorial or anything, but actually a high school girl here in the United States was able to trace the family lineage of all 44 presidents up to Barack Obama, and they were all related to the royal British family.
Yeah, that
does. There's something like that over here, actually. there's something like that over here. I think there's someone's done a very similar study that every single one of the British prime ministers or someone very high up in the cabinet has been related to the Rothschilds.
Yeah, it's
And
unsurprising.
I mean, I'm sure that if you go back long enough, everybody's related, but they're like close family, not that many generations ago.
So there is this idea that America was founded by like people going there to escape the oppression of the religious authority in Britain at the time or whatever, and that everyone who went to America would get an equal shot, like anyone can make it from the dirt like to the sky or whatever. But those people who went there first, Benjamin Franklin's and that, those weren't the poor people from the streets of London. That was the elites moving to America and it to make their own country where they didn't have to follow the laws and pay the taxes and shit. Like it's founded on a myth, like that people went there so they could build their own thing with their slaves. Like that the people who went there first had the advantage. Those are the same people who own all the oil and everything in it. They had that advantage from the start.
Right.
Well, very interesting history lesson here. We have a question. Actually, we have a few comments here. A little bit of a religious debate. We say we're all related. We come from the same place, Africa. And then Whiskey says, or maybe Adam or Eve. Adam and Eve, rather. Mark, are we descendants from monkeys or from Adam and Eve? What do you think?
So we're not descended from monkeys. We share a common ancestor with monkeys.
Okay.
Like, yes, I just want to clear that up. In it, like I am totally atheist in it. Like I don't believe in any of the main religions, and I've looked at all of them. Like it's not like I just decided one day I don't. So when I was about 18, I was like, right, I'm gonna crack this religion thing. Like I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna work out which one's the right one. And it turned out it was none of them. Like they've all got like great things in them that like I have taken and applied to my personal philosophy, but none of those are any of the magical things. Like there's great line, like Jesus said, "Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you." That's a great line. Like regardless of what religion you are. In Hinduism, they say that all paths lead to God. Like it doesn't matter how you get there. Like and I like to think of that as well. Just be a nice dude in it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, there's this side. So there's a book, Paradise Lost, the Dante book. Yeah. So in there, the first ring of hell, this is something that always amuses me, that everyone who was born before Jesus is in hell because they didn't believe in Jesus. And that's like the first tick to getting into heaven in it. If you don't believe in Jesus, you're not in heaven. You're in the first ring of hell. So that means everyone from ancient Greece, hell. Everyone from ancient Egypt, hell. Technically, even some of the prophets that existed before Jesus were born didn't believe in Jesus because he didn't exist yet. Hell. So that means that Mahatma Gandhi is sitting there in the first ring of hell, while Adolf Hitler is in heaven because he believes in Jesus, and it like that's a whack system that I'm not really cool with. I've forgotten where I was going. You got me ranting now, like about the kind of things that I like to talk about but don't get to. So thanks.
Now in the stream, right? We talk about all things really.
Yeah, this is an amazing show. Please hit the like and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Lick the like button. Do it now.
Yeah, give coronavirus to the like button.
All you can. So
do it.
Yes.
French kiss that like button.
Yeah, social distance yourself from the dislike button and smash that like button.
Exactly.
That's right. Make it moan.
Yeah.
Make it say your name.
Yes, guys, look, Adventures of Kim Il-sung and Best Korea has bigger numbers now, so we are officially like a channel that can help fund creators. Hell yeah! So Yeah.
Oh, yes, indeed. Congrats, sister.
Yay! Yay!
This
Thank
is
you,
the
bro.
stepping stone for us.
This is amazing.
My wife and no neck John here is what we have accomplished today. All right. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with my neck. I have a neck, guys. Listen.
Listen to the
Listen to the neck, all right? Cracks and everything once in a while.
Okay, but to the point. We have 26 days left to back Adventures of Kim Il-sung. You can even burn your book.
Burn.
Or burn it, whatever you want to do. Yes, this is a very good cause, and like if communism wins, we all win. Remember, okay? Next step, we have Through the Woods by my amazing brother Vinny Tartamela. He's almost in the 30K. How does that feel, my bro? How does that feel?
Feels pretty amazing. Really amazing, actually. And I've been telling everybody too that we're at the printer right now, so they're about to start printing these up. So yeah, it's fulfillment will happen soon. So yeah, it feels really awesome.
You know, it comes from the Boner King. Okay? So yeah, definitely back this one.
You want it?
Nobody wants bland stuff.
No.
Everybody wants hard stuff. So yeah, definitely back Through the Woods hardcover collected edition. What?
No, yeah, it was.
Yeah, sorry I don't have the camera on. I was I'm working right now too, but if you want me to put it on to knock on it, I could do that.
Yeah, absolutely, Vinny. We cannot live without seeing you, friend. Come on.
Oh. Anything for my brother-in-law.
All righty.
What do we have to do?
Oh, he's gonna put the camera on, but there you go.
Oh yeah, please put the camera, but I don't want everybody.
Oh, I didn't
to
realize that we can see like different layers. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, please back Through the Woods hardcover collected edition if you haven't already, or maybe you can back it again. You know, there's always this birthday present you want to make like this.
Is it still available, Vinny?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, of course it is.
And the Art of Vinny, the Art of Vinny is still available.
Actually, I was going to close it out on the 31st, but I'm waiting for that last disbursement. So once that happens, then I'm closing it out. So there's a little bit of time, I guess, left on that one. But yeah, the ash can came and it looks beautiful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting these printed as well. Yeah, you guys got the art book. Yeah, you can practically knock on that one as well.
You can knock on this one too. Yeah, definitely.
Tell me, Mark, do you like this?
What was that?
No, I'm asking Mark if he likes this.
Oh, I give yourself a full screen so I can see it
All
properly.
right. This is the art of my brother-in-law, Vinny Tartamela, right here.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful art.
That a lot. Hang on, just give me 5 minutes.
Beautiful art.
Yeah.
All right, and we also want beautiful, wonderful mirror.
We have the bookmark. We have the ash can. Right.
These are all in. The bookmarks are all in. The ash can. This is the sample copy, which looks amazing. But I'm going to be putting the order in tomorrow, and I think I'm going to make a tier as well for the people who missed out on it, because this was the added bonus for everyone who backed early. But I'm already getting some messages and people are asking if I'm going to make it available, so I might. So yeah, I'll probably make it like $15, domestic free shipping. Overseas, I'm going to have to put some kind of a price on it, but it won't be too much since it's smaller. So it'll be light to send it. So yeah.
That looks great, my bro. Please, Commie Mark, don't burn that one.
Don't burn that one. No, I won't.
Yeah, don't burn that one.
It's not physically possible.
Yeah, this book looks indestructible. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't think it would. I think it would put the fire out if I dropped that on a fire. Like,
Listen, if you're ever attacked by a jihadi, instead of poking his eye, you can always beat him up with Vinny's book, right? It would
Yeah, man.
Or
You
maybe.
you can kill them with this. It's got sharp edges here. Watch out. You get right in the eye.
Beautiful, beautiful. So we get to the Sandstorm by my very good friend Red Ace. He's already at 3K. Yeah, it's almost funded. Let me remind you that this book This is a prose novel of 300 plus pages. So how cool is that? First, we see Mark's first photo novella here in Comicsgate, and now we get a prose novel. How cool is that? Here in this campaign, we have this prose novel with the visual companion. This is the cover of the novel done by the very fine art of my bro Vinny Tartamela himself. So yeah, look at this. This is quality. As you can see, this is good stuff. This is really good stuff. And yeah, this is my cover.
Yeah, cover number.
Your cover is amazing too. You kidding me? That is so beautiful.
That's the cover of the visual companion, and inside that visual companion that goes with the story, you will find art, concept art by Narwhal. Also, here we have some of the art by Narwhal. We also have baby, don't do that.
Oh, sorry.
Then we have art from. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. Kim Amir.
Oh.
Yeah, very, very great art. Remember that at the 15K we get the audio version. That's the actual goal of this campaign, guys. It's gonna be narrated by the Red Gate. So yeah, definitely give this one a shot. Let's fund projects that are not the usual in Comicsgate. We have hardcover books, we have photo novellas, we have Sunsworn, a prose novel, and we have the Green Reaper too. Yeah.
One more sketch card available. After that.
Yeah, only one sketch card available. We have T-shirts. We have 3 books for $30.
Yep.
We really would appreciate if you give this book a chance. You will get a free pinup. You can get these sexy ladies here, or you can get this poster, or you can get this other one. You can choose whatever you want of those. Yeah, this is a passion project with all the love in our hearts that we did. John the writer, me the artist. So yeah, we're already sitting at 3.4K. So yeah, please help us continue growing.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you for everybody who came on today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Commie Mark. Thank you, Charlie. Hell CG and Hell, where are you guys living in? England, CG, right?
Thank you,
you guys have a pretty amazing country. I promise I'll visit one of these days. Only.
Let me interrupt you before you end the show.
What?
There's a question. I have a question for you too, and that I haven't heard anyone ask you, because I believe that it's perceived as offensive to say to someone, "What country are you from?" Like, you're clearly like Latin in some flavor.
Absolutely.
What's the recipe like?
So
let me explain. We have kind of a mixed background here. So her family is Italian, but she grew up in Uruguay, which is in South America.
In Montevideo.
Now your day is Uruguay.
It's
Uruguay.
Okay.
And my name. So my name is I'm not gonna say my real name, but my name is an English version, because when I was in the army, my friends could never pronounce my name because it was a little bit complicated. So they made an English version to it. Hell, brother. So they made an English version of it, and that's what I go by now. Because the friend who made it for me passed away last year, so I kind of wanted to do that like in his honor. But I was born and raised in Colombia, South America.
Colombia, nice.
Yes.
I have my very cute arepa here with me. All right. So, any last words before dying you wanna say, guys?
Thanks for having us on. I feel like I gate crashed Mark's stream, but I'm really happy to have been on, and I'm sure we'll do something again in the future.
Always welcome. Always welcome. Very nice to meet you, and always welcome anytime. All right, anytime. Like I said, Hell CG and Hell you guys for coming onto the show. Let's do this another time. It's super fun. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. And again, you, Commie Mark, you can come back anytime. John and Carl, you know that. And Charlie's, yeah, you can come on sometime too if you'd like.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
So,
I forgot. Tomorrow at 4 p.m., I do have another stream as well. I'm going to have Martina Markova on, Lady Alchemy. So, yeah.
Yeah, she seems to be back in a big way, innit?
Yeah,
Good.
she's cool. Yeah,
Brad,
her story's
knows
kind of
that
crazy
we are from Africa, clearly.
Yes, we are.
Clearly.
We are, absolutely. So should we meet?
From Spanish Morocco, that's the only place that it could possibly be.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for coming, guys. So last words is communists do cry. We found out today
that you have to subscribe to White Cat Comics.
Absolutely.
Please do so.
And I do have a neck for those who are wondering.
Show it.
Right here.
Right does it make a sound?
It does when you practice.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Let's do this again. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Mark, and bye-bye, Vinny. See you guys.
Bye.
Ciao.
Adios.
Bye, chat.